Jewelry is very important. It's like a fragrance. You wear it, people pick it because they identify with it. What is it like to start this at the beginning? I want to see what this is like. Being a jeweler is like skiing. It's very expensive. And if you want to make a living at it, my goodness gracious. But that's where you guys come to us and alleviate a lot of that cost. We absorb it in the capacity of the time and effort you would go put forth in it. We are able to do for you. And now you can just experience your creativity and the fun aspects of it.
Welcome to Season 6 of For the Love of Jewelers podcast. I'm Mark Nelson, your host, and joining me today is my co-host, Fiona Morrison. Fiona, how you doing?
Good. I'm glad to be here today. We have a very special guest.
Yeah, you ready for this one?
Yes. Today we are welcoming our very own Joshua Baca from our customization sales team. Welcome.
Right from upstairs.
Exactly.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. I was surprised that I was asked to come and give my 2 cents on the world of customization, but here I am to be with you two. So thank you for having me.
Wonderful. Well, we're glad to have you. Tell us a little bit about what our customization is and what it entails.
Customization is a very intricate piece in the world of jewelry, which I've learned. And I am so grateful to be here to discuss this with you guys because I think a lot of people have a different idea of what customization is.
Oh, yeah.
And I do know that Rio Grande is in a space right now of elevating what the community of jewelers think and see as customization, and we're putting our own flair to it. Customization here at Rio, as I mentioned, is going through a transition of being elevated. And I myself like to work with my customer from the beginning to end. And a lot of our customers have different varieties of what they're looking for, and we are able to be an all-service space for them. Here at Rio, we are a one-stop shop, and customization is one of those things. We have the ability to connect them with one of our CAD designers, and from there, they are able to use their own vision and work with our CAD designer to create a sort of poetry onto paper and then make it digitally enhanced and come to life.
Yeah.
So we're really able to work with anybody from someone who doesn't even have a background but has that idea and that desire
Exactly.
to an experienced jeweler who's just ready to go to that next step.
And that's perfect. And it's for the customer who is a jeweler but doesn't want to take on the labor cost of what it takes to do all that work and infrastructure.
Or the time.
Or the time or the money to do it.
Yeah.
They come to us. It's a one-stop shop. And I love the fact that I work with amazing individuals who, like I said, have amazing stores here in Albuquerque who have so many customers who want to see the same thing, a pendant or a ring, but in different colors and different twists and changes to it.
Right.
And we're able to offer that to them by using our CAD services, which a lot of people know that can be expensive and timely. CAD designing is a whole art.
It is an art.
And it doesn't get enough credibility. And I think it's wonderful that we have the opportunity to showcase our CAD designers of what their capabilities are able to do.
So tell us a little bit more about that. So some customers approach us and they might already have a CAD. What is the next step for the customers who don't?
So if a customer doesn't have a CAD, I will introduce them to one of our CAD designers. And I very much of the essence of this customization is a white glove experience. We're just telling a story with whatever your desire is and whatever your message is. And I like to be a part of the process. I call it a meet and greet. I like to do a video call because it humanizes the relationship.
Yeah.
Jewelry is very important. It's like a fragrance. You wear it. People pick it because they identify with it.
Yep.
And it's an expression of who they are. And I don't want my customer, my client, to not know that I'm not there with them regarding the process and the experience.
It's very much about bringing this custom piece that they're looking for and acknowledging the fact that it's something that's close to home for them.
Exactly.
And
a lot-
honoring that.
Exactly. And so many of these pieces with customization are customers as well as jewelers as a customer are telling a story of the actual piece that they're creating.
Yeah.
So I want them to know that I'm with them from beginning to end. So I'll introduce them to the CAD designer. The CAD designer and the customer will go back and forth. It's not an overnight process. It is literally go up to 2 weeks or even 3 weeks. And we do have times where it's literally 2 days, but the customer knows exactly what they want, and it's only a few things that needed to be added to this vision.
Yeah.
And then from there, I will receive the CAD and I will bring it in-house and I will take it to our production team. And once our production team has the CAD file secure, from there we have a 10-day turnaround time. But sometimes the customer wants to go along for the ride and they really want to experience the process, which can take, a few weeks, which
Yeah.
is totally fine. But we have the ability to do it and we also have the passion for it as well.
And you're really bringing in the customer to be part of that experience.
Absolutely.
They're not just sending off a design and it's showing up done and it's just that. It's very much about that process
Of
for them as
course.
well.
Some of the best times during my day is I sit up next to you in the office and I get to hear your conversations and to hear your passion and your questions and your joking with the customers and really taking an effort to understand who they are and what they want is exceptional.
Thank you, because I know that I'm very loud and gregarious.
Not at
And
all.
it can really hinder some of the quietness upstairs in our department.
I love it.
But I want to understand my customer. I want to be their friend. I give all my customers my personal number because sometimes they just need something in real time. And there is that white glove service that Rio provides them.
Yeah.
We live in this day and age, and it sounds so cliche that we're a Teams message or an email, wait to get back to you. And everyone's like, okay, I have a buffer time. I'll get back to my email at the end of the day. But with text, we're all on our phones. There's no reason to not be able to answer a question in real time.
Right.
And I want my customer to know that there is that opportunity that you maybe won't get with those big box spaces where you just made to order and it's in your hand in 48 hours. You may change an idea of a stone or a color, or even the size could be wrong.
Right.
We're able to adjust that in real time. And now when the size is wrong, that might be a little bit of an intricacy. But other than, in big real situations, I want to be there for them. And that's a service that not very many other spaces of customization can offer.
So you've mentioned a couple of times the stones. So that is also something that we provide with our customization
Yes.
services is sourcing those stones, getting the ideal stone the customer is looking for. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that as well?
Absolutely. So Rio is a game changer in the capacity that we have our own gemologist here on site. One who has been here many, many, many years and who is a huge family member to the Rio tree. Not to say the others aren't as well, but there's so much knowledge in that small room. And we also have our own diamond source individual specialist. His name is Theo. And he's based in our New York office. And he and I work in tandem on finding the correct stone for the right, for the customer. And because a marquee and a pear are very different shapes, but you want to find the most perfect, best quality for the customer and for the stone or for the amount of what we are casting for the customer. And he has the ability, we have a large Rolodex of natural as well as lab. Of course, those are available to see on our website. But if you really have a specific millimeter or diameter or circumference of a stone, you can come to me and I will introduce you to Theo, and he will go out there and search and hunt to make sure we find the right stone that meets your needs for your customization project. One thing I love about working in this arena of luxury and glamour is being able to take an idea of something small and intricate and divine, but then also working with something that is POW. So
Yeah.
we are able to do these amazing, intricate diamond necklaces, even tiaras. We actually
Really?
we're focusing right now on a bridal collection, which is something that we really want to focus on for our Rio customer. So we have an array of opportunity of what we can create. Our CAD designers are phenomenal. Our casting team is incredible. And being able to showcase our craftsmen, or not be able to show our craftsmen, being able to show the capabilities of
Mhm.
our team, from stone setting to craftsmanship,
Yes.
is phenomenal, and that really sets us apart
Yes.
from many others who are out there.
Yes, we have a very extensive team in house
We
with
do.
decades of
It's
experience that they bring
phenomenal.
to
It's
this
very rare,
project.
and it's great to know that they all stem from New Mexico in some way.
Yeah.
And Rio Grande has always been the crown jewel of the Southwest, without a lot of people knowing. They've always flown under the radar. And when I started here back in September of 2024, which clearly wasn't not far long ago, but I had no idea such an acclaimed space existed. And to be welcomed with open arms has been phenomenal to see there's so much talent and creativity um, and history in this building is very, very interesting and very huge, something to really shout from the rooftops.
So, speaking about gemstones and how a customer is able to choose exactly what they want, they're able to source that custom stone for their
Of
project.
course.
Tell us a little bit about the metal, the materials that are being worked with.
Absolutely. Rio has an amazing opportunity to source some of the best gold out there in the world. And we source gold from 10 to 22 in both yellow as well as white, and some rose gold as well. From there, we're able to really shape shift these metals into amazing pieces that, of course, from, like I said at the beginning, starts with the customization process with what the customer wants to create. And we're able to do that with these amazing metals.
That's awesome.
Wonderful. And for the customers that maybe aren't quite ready for a fully custom piece, but they're still looking for something that is getting to a design that they're wanting, what are their options?
Oh, that's easy. That's our in our industry we call MTO, made to order. That is where a customer is able to go through our catalog on our website and see an array of different inventory of different mounts, different a pear shape or a marquee diamond stone setting, or even necklaces. They're able to see it right then and there, because sometimes the customer doesn't want to put
Mhm.
all that time and effort into it, but they want something that's going to be unique to them. So therefore, they're able to go through the process of selecting what they want, and then that's where they reach out to me, and they will fill out a form online, and we will then set up an opportunity for them to do the made to order process, where I will walk with them hand in hand, exactly like I do in the
Yeah.
customization process.
Mhm.
Like I said, it's the white glove experience. I'm with you from beginning to end. Even if your beginning is in the middle for some,
Yeah.
we're doing this together, and I will guide you in the right space with Theo, who is our gemstone specialist out of New York. We will source those stones for you. We will have those stones sent here, and we will create what ring you want and how the metals to look based on what we already have in inventory, because those CAD designs are already there, and it will be a
Yeah.
lot quicker turnaround for the customer. This maybe it's kind of like when you get a tattoo, they say you get the bug. I think this is when the MTO is the bug, when the
Right.
customer is like, what is it like to start this at the beginning?
Right.
Mhm.
I want to see what this is like. Being a jeweler is like skiing. It's very expensive. It's an expensive hobby. And if you want to make a living at it, my goodness gracious. But that's where you guys come, where they come to us, and we alleviate a lot of that cost. We absorb it in the capacity of the time and effort you would go put forth in it. We are able to do for you, and now you can just experience the creativity and the fun aspects of
And
it.
like you said, you're walking hand in hand with them.
Exactly.
You
I'm not
know?
going to let you fall. We're doing this together. We're going to hopefully at the end become friends, because again,
Mhm.
this is such a personal thing. Jewelry, it
Yep.
really is.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Josh.
Yes. Everyone calls me Joshy. My family has been here for many, many, many moons. I'm so grateful to be part of a legacy and tradition of amazing culture here in New Mexico, which many people still think that New Mexico is some random space out in the ether. But we have a lot to offer. But prior to coming to Rio, I worked in corporate America. I worked with Nordstrom. I worked for a magazine as their national director of sales and marketing. But I've always come from the world of luxury,
Okay.
and my perception on luxury is very different than a lot of others, or how you perceive luxury in the mainstream. I look at luxury as something that means something culturally.
Mhm.
To me, my grandparents, their ability to teach me things, community, time, my
Yeah.
family,
Mhm.
things that can't be measured by a dollar.
Yeah.
But I've always put that towards working in the space of luxury, because luxury can translate, but it can mean so much more. And when the opportunity to come to Rio came about, they were talking about how they are elevating themselves, and I thought, elevate yourselves, you're amazing. But they want to really add that element of luxury and experience. People, our customers, come to us for an amazing experience because they're doing something so close to their heart.
Yeah.
Be it they are making a brooch for their grandmother, or if they're making their third round of requests for turquoise belts for their shop. We're able to be a part of that. And luxury is not just price, and it's not just the glitz and the glamour. It's about humanizing the experience and also making something special.
It's about the stories too.
It is a story.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
Mexico is a space of storytelling.
Oh, huge.
It's huge. And our culture that many may not know that exists, there's so much storytelling that goes on and so much history. And Rio being here for 80 years, my goodness gracious, who better to be the storyteller than Rio?
So I had a quick question for you.
Yes.
In your experience at Nordstrom and doing that kind of
Mhm.
line of luxury stuff, from that experience, did you understand what you were getting into with the jewelry industry?
To be honest, and I'm grateful that Rio brought me on, I don't have experience in jewelry,
Yeah.
but I have experience in giving experiences. I have that, and I understand what it is to be on the receiving end as a customer, as well as guiding the customer. And one piece of information that I want to share with everybody that has gotten me to where I am today, especially being at Rio, is I don't listen to respond. I listen to understand.
Yeah.
And I want to listen to my customer because each individual person has a different story to tell and wants to be heard for their specific story.
Right.
And if I'm just listening to you to come back with something that I think you want to hear to seal the deal, well, I'm doing you a disservice
Yeah.
as well as myself. So that's where the storytelling and listening and understanding comes into play. And I think it's just been a fluid merge from my luxury days with Nordstrom into this space of, showcasing that's been here for so long, what their capabilities are, and us, the three of us,
Yeah.
and those behind the scenes help make come true.
It's very much about bringing in that full experience and bringing
100%.
somebody into this Rio family.
Exactly. Absolutely. And I'm so grateful to be part of the Rio family and to maintain and share their legacy.
Thank
Well,
you.
you're doing an amazing
Thank
job.
you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you all for having me today. I really appreciate it.
It's great having you, man.
Thank you.
We'd like to thank today's sponsor, Swanstrom Tools. Manufactured from high-quality materials, Swanstrom Tools provides enduring quality and consistent results over decades of service. From now until the end of February, use code SWANSTROM at checkout for 10% off select Swanstrom shape cutters. So, Mark, speaking of shape cutters, tell us a little bit about them.
Oh, I love them. I mean, because I would be devastated if I didn't have mine. I've got one of the original ones. It's probably second generation.
Really?
And actually, I bought it used when we had the will call area up front.
Yes.
And my mom was like, and I'm 45 at the time, right? My mom's like, "What do you want for your birthday, kiddo?" And I'm like, "Well, I could use this disc cutter." She goes, "Done." So I picked it up from will call, and it's the old inch.
Yes.
And I wish I kind of had a millimeter size one, and then they're just round ones,
Yeah. Yeah.
But I use
They're
them all the time.
excellent tools. I know that I'm a lover of hammering, which I have spoken about in the past. I'm a truist.
Oh, yes, you are.
I'll always have my hand on a hammer. And so, ironically, one of the first tools I'd say that I messed around with was a disc cutter, besides for a torch.
Yeah.
Handed a lit torch, said, get going with it. And that was a great way to learn, but I don't know if everybody always goes about it that way. But I'd say the disc cutter, one of my first projects I ever did was making links for a chain actually on the disc cutter with different sizes. I was able to really mess around with it, work with different materials. It was a lot of fun because it allows you to sort of get those shapes before you necessarily have the techniques down to be able to get your hand on a jeweler's saw
Right.
or get into another form of cutting and fabrication. It's a really good sort of in-between step, and it saves you a lot of time.
Oh, tons of time.
And I saw on Instagram the other day a video. Somebody was cutting out, I'd say they were probably about 2 inches across,
Okay.
discs by hand, about 100 of them.
And they sell 2-inch disc cutters.
I know. And so much time was spent on that. And
You kind of need a press for those, though.
yeah, you would need a press. And they were pretty thick too, but they were cutting them out by hand with a saw, going around all the surfaces, filing them down, buffing them down. It was one of those experiences where I think we've all done something like that at least once in our lives. But there's definitely ways nowadays that, and this technology has been around for a while.
Oh, yeah.
But there's definitely ways to make life easier sometimes.
A big game changer are the centering dies.
Yes.
And one of my favorite things to do is make washers of all the different shapes, your squares, your teardrops, hearts, all that stuff. You can make washers of them, all of those things, and then cut those up and reposition them and just have fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, love them. Got to have it. Would be hard pressed without one.
Yeah, and going back also to some of our previous discussions and episodes with the Bonnie Doon press, that's another option as well in order to go from some of those thinner gauges to some of those thicker gauges.
You want to hear a funny story?
Yes.
All right, so you never take two geniuses to the trade show and have them booths their benches right next to each other. So we had Tim Sheriff, who kind of brought this disc cutter into existence, working right next to Phil Poirier at the Bonnie Doon. So what was the end result? Handfuls of coins where the heads were punched out and turned around and pushed back in. So anytime there was a down moment, they'd be cutting holes and flipping the heads around. And so, yeah, tails was heads and heads was tails.
I'm sure that was fun for everyone involved.
Oh, we loved it. It was great.
That's it for today's show. Thank you to our guest, Joshua Baca from our customization sales team, for joining the show. It was great to learn more about Rio's customization services. For more information, visit riogrande.com and click on the customization link. We'd also like to thank our sponsor, Swanstrom. From now until the end of February, use code SWANSTROM at checkout for 10% off select Swanstrom shape cutters. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a 5-star review. It really helps us grow. See you next time.